welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Het and this is Crafting from the Broom Closet. And today we're continuing with My Almanac. So where have we got to so far? So I've done the covers, I've done the bindings. Some of them I'm so happy with, some of them not so much. And they have become a little bit more rigidity since I've added the extra card in them. Rigidity, whatever the word is. Oh, I've got fluff. So my spring one, I added that little bit of ribbon on, and I think it just makes it a bit of texture there. It just makes it a little bit happier. And obviously put some pages in here just to show you how they work, like so. Am I happy with it? It will do. It will do. Probably not the best colour combination, but you know, it's only for me. You can do it however you want to do it, and do it better, because I'm sure you can do it better. My summer one, again, cover's a bit gaudy. No, that's not the word. Gaudy. That's the word I was looking for. I like the inside of this much better. I think this combination of colours is great. The elastic is in there ready to go. My autumn one, I love the cover on this one. Got a bit of texture there with the fabric. The colours are great. Inside, not so keen on the green. Everything else I like. I was limited on what colours I had of paper, the way it is. And then my winter one. So I like the outside and the inside of this one. So I didn't have any of the marble tape in a colour that I thought would work with this. I think I had some really thin stuff, which meant would have had to do 3 lots, and I'm like, no, not messing about that. But I did have this lovely blue snowflake one, and I quite like that. It's very similar to the blue on the outside. So I'm really happy with this one, the colour combination on this one. Anyway, today we're going to work on the cover. And I know how wide this is going to be, and it's very wide. Let's have a look, see if we can measure it. Well, it should be 4 inches. Get them all to go flat. So it's just over the 4-inch mark, which is expected because you've got a little bit of either side. But yeah, so just over the 4-inch mark is the width of that. So I know that my edge of the book, spine of the book, is going to have to be just over 4 inches. I do know that I want to use this big paper bag, Amazon packaging, for the book cover. It's obviously way too tall, but I can trim it down, which is what we're going to do now. So if I get one of these books, I want it to be a bit bigger either end of it. And with the technique I'm planning on using today, it's going to get even smaller. So I'm going to cut it for now. I can't get it onto the thing. Up to this seam. So I'm just going to cut along that seam and get rid of all this bulk at the top. So I'm going to cut to this seam. So just get my scissors. I am using wallpaper scissors. Fantastic. If you can't find decent paper scissors or decent fabric scissors even, I've used these for fabric. These are great scissors. Very sharp. Got some weight to them, so really good. It says. So I'm cutting along that seam. Do not throw this away. This is perfectly good paper. Very good paper, in fact. And I want to open up this end too. So rather than mess about, because I'm going to have loads of extra on here, look. Yeah. Rather than mess about trying to unpeel that open, I'm just going to trim it open. Because if I try to pull it open, it's just going to tear anyway. So I'm just going to trim it off. And I should still have plenty of room. There we go. And then we can open the bag out fully, like so. And yes, now it's open at this end, but we can easily glue it back closed later. So the technique I'm using today, the two techniques I'm going to be using, one is called morigami, which is the Japanese art of paper kneading. And the other is a painting technique that I learned from a friend of mine on YouTube called Frida. And I'm going to link her video in the comments, in the description section, for you to go and check out, because she knows what she's doing much better than me. I'm going to just say, please excuse the state of my nails today. I know they're going to get ruined during this video process, so I didn't bother fixing them. It is what it is. So morigami is basically scrunching paper to break up the fibres within it. You can use like lotion or oils to make the process quicker, but I'm not going to, because I want to keep it more natural and cost effective. This is going to cost me nothing to make this cover. I do need to get rid of that bit of tape there. See if I can get it off, she says. Yeah, it just peels off like so. It might take a little bit. And to get rid of the sticky residue, you can use any sort of powder, talcum powder, or, as Frida taught me, corn flour. And I've got loads of that downstairs, so I'm just going to get it and put a little bit on there. So here we go, corn flour or corn starch, I think they call it in America. Just used for thickening sauces and stuff. That's what I use it for anyway. So I just need a tiny amount, and I'll just sprinkle it there for a moment, and I will rub it over where that sticky is. And lo and behold, no longer sticky. Okay, so let's get on with the morigami, the kneading, paper kneading. And it really is simple. You're scrunching it up and folding it out straight. I'm going to open this up completely to do it, so you won't be able to see exactly what I'm doing all the way around. But basically start from the corners, bring it in, I don't know if this is ASMR or just really annoying. I won't have the whole video doing this because it's going to hurt you. It is. This is really loud and scrunchy. So I'm going around the edges, bringing it in. And you just bring it all in. Scrunch it up as tight as you can. Give it a good squeeze. And open it back out. And then you just keep repeating that process until it's nice and soft. And this is where I'm going to play some music. I'm going to play some music by another friend of mine called Livia. He does some lovely pagan music, and I will put the link for her channel in the chat below. If it gets copyrighted, I'll put some non-copyright music over the top. But hopefully, even if it does, I can get her to take the copyright away. So, for now, I'm going to have the music playing.
There once was a girl, a musician by trade, set out on a mission to sing come what may. She walked 1,000 miles, a direction to see, to find 1,000 answers for all she had seen. Some way along the path she came across a maiden, and finding herself lost, she asked for directions. Can you please help, for I can't find my way? The maiden looked upon her, and this she did say: the fool takes his chance, the hermit plays safe, lovers crave romance.
As you can see, the paper is already starting to get softer. So this is how it started, and there's a little bit of more give in it now. But keep going. This does cause your fingers to get a bit, your hands to get a bit ouchy. If you can't deal with that, check out Frida's video, because she shows you how to soften the paper without doing any scrunching, and she uses what is it? Oh, glycerin. She just paints on glycerin, and it does the process without any of the scrunching. You do just need to wait about 10 hours for the glycerin to fully dry before you can do the next process. Whereas this one, once it's scrunched, I can move on straight to the next process. Tearing this off because it's a double layer and it's preventing it from softening.
They stood side by side and looked out to sea. Then the crone turned her head and she said to me: the fool takes his chance, the hermit plays safe, lovers crave romance and the star covets fade. The magician always knows just which card to play, one step ahead and leading the way. The fool takes his chance, the hermit plays safe, lovers crave romance and the star covets fame. The magician.
If you've noticed, I'm concentrating around the edges because it's still very crunchy here, but it's not so scrunchy here. So that's why I'm working on the edges at the moment.
For remember, my dear, we are one and the same.
Okay, I'm stopping at this point. I can continue and it'll get softer and softer. But as you can see, it's a lot softer and more, acts more like fabric than what it did in the first place, how it started. See the difference? I can literally scrunch it up like a piece of fabric. And if I was to continue, it won't even sound crunchy. If you check out one of my earlier videos, which I believe was F for faux fabric, you'll see how I continued and got it even softer and softer. But I think this is soft enough for what I need today. Oh, and I kept saying morigami. That's wrong. Completely wrong. It's mumagami. Mumagami. I'll put the actual word in the video so you'll see how it's spelled. I don't know why I kept saying morigami. I'm like, I knew it didn't sound right. But hey ho, it is what it is. So yeah, so there we go. We are up to the softness I want. Like I said, I could go on for longer, but I think this is going to be perfectly good enough for what I want today. Now I need to fold it again back to where it was before. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a seam allowance for gluing here. And as you see, there's the original flap that was there before. In fact, let me bring it down to that, because yeah, I can have the seam allowance the other side. That's perfect. Try and get it straight, she says. Flatten you out so I can see where the straight edge is. Then I'll be able to line it up a bit better, hopefully, with a straight edge up here, or not. That looks pretty much there. Yeah, that looks better. And I've still got plenty of space for sticking it together like so. Now, what's my height like? Height's more than enough, perfect. Oh, you can't see. Turn it that way, you can see. So there's plenty of room either side, even with that folded over. So it's perfect. So let's make it pretty, shall we? I'm going to start. I'll start on this side. I'm going to, that Amazon packaging that was left over, I'm going to use that underneath. This is a good way of getting yourself some printed, well, grungy paper at a later point, because I'm going to get paint all over this. So I am just going to be right back. I'm going to go and get my paints ready, and then we start. Okay, so I've got my plate or any non-porous surface to mix your paint into. My acrylic paint, this is just cheap acrylic paint. Hopefully it's enough. Oh, she says, maybe not. I'm going to add some black to that to make it a little bit darker. Just a tiny amount, not too much. That'd be more than enough. And then I'll give it a good mix. And I'm just using a butter knife to mix it with. If you've got proper tools, use them. But this works just as well as a palette knife. So I've got quite a browny, grey brown there. I do think I'm going to need more. So I'm going to add some more, because I've got a huge area to cover. Sorry about the scraping noises for those that don't like it. You might want to mute. I'm going to add a little bit more black, just because I'm trying to make it spread as far as I can. Ooh, maybe too much black now. But hey ho. It will just make it a very dark brown. A very dark brown. That's a little bit more brown if I can. I may have to go out and buy some more brown for the next layer, because That is all gone. The only thing about these small tubes is you don't get much in them. But I can obviously make brown with colours that I have. So green and red will make brown. Or a shade of brown. Which is a very dark brown. Okay. The other thing I need is a cloth. So this is just a bit of material that I had left over from making my birthday costume. Billa t-shirt will be great. So let's start. So move them out of the way. Get all that paint off there. Oh, making it worse. And then we're going to dip into the paint, then pop it on the paper in circular motions, like so. And we're spreading it quite thin. I obviously want to cover up this Amazon writing as well, so I'm going to go into that flap, and that's fine. Like I said, have a look at Frida's video because she's much better at this. This is where I learned it from, and she has a much better technique than I do. But you're doing it in circular motions because you want it to blend and not look streaky. And this is why you put the paper underneath, because you end up with a mess otherwise. And my mat is already messy enough as it is. I'm going to go under there a little bit. So just rubbing it in and spreading it out. Like so. And just keep doing this. And as I'm rubbing it in, as you can see, I'm pushing out some of the wrinkles, which is great. It's actually what you want to do. And like I said, if you follow Frida's video, she shows you how to soften the paper without scrunching using glycerin, and it is a really good technique. The only difference, see where I'm going straight, I'm leaving lines, but if I do circles, no lines. There you go. And you just keep doing this until it's fully covered. It's going to take me a while, so I'm going to speed it up with some music. See you on the other side.
Intense silence as she walked in the room. Her black robes trailing, sister of the moon. Well, the black widow spider makes more sound than she, and the black moons in those eyes of hers make more sense to me. Heavy persuasion, it grows hard to breathe. She was dark at the top of the stairs, and she called out to me. Sister of the moon. And so I followed, as friends often do. I cared not for love nor money, and I think she knew. The people, they gather around her, still they almost cruel. She asked me to be my sister, sister. of the moon. Sister, be my sister of the moon. Sister of the moon. Some call me sister of the moon. Some say illusions were her game. They like to wrap her in velvet. But does anybody, does anybody know her name? All hail the guardians of the watchtowers of the east. A rare invention comes to me. All hail the guardians of the watchtowers of the south. The fire and the feeling come to me. All hail the guardians of the watchtowers of the west. All the water intuition comes to me. All hail the guardians of the watchtowers of the north. Of earth and of mother come to me. So we make our choices when there is no choice, and we listen to their voices, ignoring our own voice. The people, you know that they'll love you, and still they'll be most cruel.
As you can see, I'm pretty much out, and I've still got quite a bit to do, so I'm just going to dribble a little bit of water, maybe too much, into there, and hopefully I'll be able to get that to go a little lot further. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's making it a lot lighter though, that's the only problem. I'm going to see if I can squeeze some more out of this brown. There's a little bit left in there. Hopefully I can get some more out. Just folding it down. And hopefully something will come up. A little bit. Any more? Well, I prefer metal tubes because they come out a lot easier. If I have to, I can cut this tube open. There's a fair amount come out there. Tiniest bit of black. Don't want it to come out too dark. Should be enough. My knife. And hopefully that'll be enough to finish off. We'll see. Hopefully. I'm going to add a tiny bit more water, a tiny bit of water into that as well, just to make it. Did it only come out? I don't think it did. Yeah, there it did. Just to make it possibly go a bit further. Not much, probably a little bit. And I'm going to do that. Rather than clean it on the cloth, I'm going to pull it on there. Spread that out, there we go. Might be a slightly different shade, but the good thing about leather looks is you want it different shades, because leather is naturally different shades. Okay. So that's all I can do with that now. I'm going to leave it dry, and then we'll do a second coat. There's a lot more white left on here than I would have liked. But we'll do a second coat after this drying. It'll take about 10-15 minutes to dry. Okay, I'm back. It is dry. Left it a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but it is dry. And there's a lot of patchiness. Lots of patchiness. But that's fine. I've got another layer to do. I'm going to concentrate on where it's really patchy to start off with. Very different tones as well. Look how dark it is there compared to there. But that's, I don't mind that. I really don't mind it. So, as you know, I ran out of the blue paint. So we are going to make up, so brown paint even. Why did I say blue? Weirdo. So I'm going to make up some brown using the colours I've got. And because I've got like whole tubes, I can make up a much bigger batch. I also forgot to finish doing the inner flap. Hey ho, is what it is. Oh, this is where I can't actually open this foil. Why do they do that? There we go. Not fully open, but opened enough that I can squeeze out the paint. Very vibrant green, so I'm not sure what colour brown we're going to get. But I'm going to literally squeeze out the whole tube. Because any paint that I have left, I can use. If I do have any paint left, that is. Might not have. Because I do think I need to go over this a little bit more than you would normally use on a second coat. You don't get much out of a tube, do you? I mean, there's a little bit left in there because I haven't folded it down. And now I'm going to add some red. Again, I've got to take the foil off this. Foil. Brand new tube. Tiny tubes. Don't hold much, as you can see. Come on. I'm not aiming for exactly the same colour this time. So, which is a good thing. I can poke a hole in it because I can't get that to peel off at all. No, where's my pokey tool? Okay. Poke tool. Pop it in there. Give it a wiggle. Wipe that red off straight away. Make sure it's clean. It's all clean now. Let's get some red in there. I'll put that much in for now. See what colour it comes out like. So if you mix the primary colours together, red, blue and green, red, blue and yellow, you will get brown. There you go, see, look. Green already has the blue in it. So it already has the brown. It already makes the brown, just the two of them. But I could have just mixed red, blue and yellow to get this. Obviously that's much lighter than what I had on the other one. I'm going to add a little bit more red to give it a bit more warmth. I say a little bit, that's a lot bit. But I want to make a big patch of paint, so hey, I have to make a lot bit. It's a very pinky brown now. It's almost like a terracotta colour now, isn't it? Just getting that green from underneath because I don't want that. Doing what I'm finalised with. So the green that's still at the bottom of the plate. Okay. Let's add some black. Where did I put the black? There's the black. Oh! Didn't want to do that. Let's see what we come up with. With the black. Oh, I may have gone too dark now. No, actually, I'm thinking that might be a good colour. Making sure I get all of the reddy brown into it. That's a little bit of yellow. Let's add a tiny bit of yellow, see what happens. Because I do need a lot of paint. Because as we discovered before, it doesn't go as far as I hoped it would. Put a bit of yellow in there. Yeah, I think I'm good with that colour. It's a much warmer brown than we had before, look. See, completely different colour. Right, my first thing is I want to concentrate on the bits where it is really patchy. I'm actually going to get a fresh bit of cloth. And if you notice, I did wash my hands in between, although I've already got them messy. It does wash off really clear. And as I said, my nails were going to get ruined even more, so I didn't bother with them. Yeah, scrunching of the paper did that. So let's go. New bit of fabric, like so. And I'm going to concentrate on where it's really patchy to start off with. Right, it's a really nice warm brown. And because I'm putting a tone on a tone, it will give different tones. That makes sense?
Do you know the secret? Handed down from ancient times. Just think and you'll achieve it. All you need is the power of your mind. But there will always be those who try to fight it. Their purpose is to stop you getting far. Don't be repressed by their narrow-mindedness. In this mess we have forgotten who we are. And it all comes down to a simple truth. Everything you need is inside of you. So trust yourself and to your own self be true. Just spread your wings and launch yourself into the sky. For you were born to fly on a natural high. So you know you hold the key now. What are you going to do? Believe in your create how. Your future begins with you. And though you may not always want to see it, and yes, there will be sacrifice to make. Just open up, allow yourself to feel it. It is a path that you're destined to take. And it all comes down to a single truth. Everything you need is inside of you. So trust yourself and to your own self be true. Just spread your wings and launch yourself into the sky. For you were born to fly.
Let's
On a natural
do the flap.
high. Life is but a journey, a labyrinth of to's and fro's. A ship from sometimes troubled waters, destination unknown. Do not be discouraged if you don't know where to start. For the answer, it is easy. Just
Because I
look into
plan
your
on
heart.
making a flap on the other side, I'm going to do this bottom as well.
Trust yourself and to your own self be true.
So
Just spread your wings and launch yourself into the sky. For you were born to fly on a natural high.
and obviously at the moment I can see the writing. If I do a second coat, should probably put some black in there. Let me get. Okay. Just put a little bit. Put a little bit black on the actual paper. Oh, not that much. Oops. Oh shoot. Didn't want that much. There we go. I'm just blending it in on paper. Oh, maybe I could have done with that much. Maybe that wasn't too much black after all. And I'll leave that to dry, and I'll do a second coat on that. I've still got enough paint on here, so if I just put a cling film over that, there should be more than enough left. Put some cling film on that, be more than enough left to go over that a second coat. So there we go. This is what it's looking like. I can see some white patches still there. So I'm just, oh, no, do. Not that cloth anyway. It's the wrong cloth. Yeah. As you can see, some of the red is coming off. But that's fine with me. Do not worry too much if there is white patches, because when leather ages, it shows, it's not white patches, beige patches. When leather ages, some of the coating comes off anyway. So I'm just going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and have a look how it looks. See you soon. Okay, so we're back. It's actually the next day because by the time this had dried, I was starting to lose the light. And as I have broken my ring light, I'm relying on the daylight. And we are in winter and it gets dark quite early. So anyway, so this is how it's turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. There are different tones, which is fine. It's what I was aiming for. On the other side you can see I'm pretty happy with it. So now I need to make it into a cover, and to do so I need to work out what size I need. I'm just going to make sure I've got it folded straight. Let's bring you down a bit to that edge. Come on. It's not going to cooperate for me now. Bring it down to the edge of that flap. Like so. I know this edge is straight. I know that flap is straight. But the other edge is not necessarily so because I cut them myself. So I'm just going to flat that out. There we go. That's pretty straight, I think, now. And I've left myself... Oh! And I've left myself plenty there to make a fold over to seal it back up. Like so. I'm going to neaten off that edge. It's a bit crunchy around the edges, as you can see. There you go. I wish I could lift my camera up higher, but my stand isn't great. I'm going to try and get a new stand that I can bring up higher. Because, unfortunately, I'm left with quite a close view all the time. Anyway, so we know that's folded in the right place, so the flap is there. Why is that gone crooked? Oh, try again. Lost its straightness. Oh, try again. There we go. I think that's pretty much it. There we go. I'm going to really flatten down that crease. There we go. I don't know if you saw, I was just pushing it down with my fingers. Right, so we know this is how much we've got to play with. And we know how tall it needs to be. I want a little bit of space either side. If I keep it, let's open that up. If I keep it at the flap width, it's going to be quite a bit taller, but that I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. So what we now need to work out is how wide I want to be able to make a flap at this side as well as that side. So if I leave about that much either side, let's see. Let me just see. So if I leave that there, and put a mark here in the middle. And then I know the 4 spines altogether are just over 4 inches. So if I take my ruler from that line, and I go just over the 4 inches mark, how much will I have on the other side? Let's move that over so you can see what I'm doing. I'm marking on the inside because you won't see the inside. So if I then go that up to that mark, I've got, oh, still can't see. I've got all this much here to play with. Leaving myself about 1/2 inch, it still gives me a good size overflap. So I'm happy with that. Now, my next job is to make a spine in the middle. And I want it to be quite sturdy because it's got to hold the 4 journals in onto it. So I'm going to use an old cereal box and I'm going to cut it. Is that going to be tall enough? Yes, it is, I think. Oh. I don't know if it is. Hang on. Because obviously I don't want the flaps. Yeah, I think it should just, might not go right to the top and bottom, but that's fine with me. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a 4 and a bit inch spine from the cardboard. Bring it up so you can see. So if I mark it just that 1/8 over the 4 inches from the edge here, because I know that's a straight edge. I'll do the same further up and join them up together. The easiest way to get a straight line is to make 2 marks and join them together. And again. Like so. So I now want to cut along that line and also cut along this fold line. And none of this will be seen from the outside of the finished project. It's going to be hidden inside. Where did I put my blade? Tidied up my desk and now I can't find anything, which is typical. Not that I can find anything when I don't tidy it up. I thought I might put it in this box, but I haven't. So where have I put it? Okay, got it. I'm going to stand myself up because this is quite a long line to cut. And I want to make sure I'm holding the ruler firmly. Oh, I forgot. Don't want to cut through this. Let's move the the cover out of the way. Luckily, the first swipe did not cut through all the way. Yeah, be careful. Don't cut through the things you want to keep. Okay, so that's cut. Now I just need to cut along this line here. I probably should have moved the paper that's underneath out of the way as well. Better. There we go, go through. Okay, so that's my spine. Need to make it short, obviously. I'll take off that end for starters. There we go. Gone. And this will then go in here. I'm going to cut it just below where the fold is. Yes, it means I've got that little bit of flexibility there from that fold, but I'm fine with that. So just around about here, I'm going to bring that ruler up to the edge there to give myself a straight line. There we go. So that should be about the right size now. Is it right? Yeah. Let me just check if it fits in. Yeah. So there we go. So I now want to glue this down in between the two red marks which are here. Okay. Get me up just a little bit higher than that edge there. That should bring me all the way up to this one. Yeah. Okay, cool. I am actually going to use double-sided tape for this because I think it's going to be fine because it's inside. It's not going to get pulled out. And it just makes my life that little bit easier than trying to glue it and wait for the glue to dry. So just putting tape from one end to the other. I'm going to do 4 strips, I think. Just so you can see what I'm doing better. Bringing it around. And bringing it all the way to the edge here, just to make sure it's fully stuck down. Like so. Okay. Now I've just got to peel the backs off. I actually want to make sure they're pushed down properly because it makes peeling the backs off much easier. So I'm going to use the back of my scissors to just push that down. They call it burnishing. And make sure it's firmly stuck. It gets out any air bubbles as well. And that just makes the peeling much, much easier. Right. Let's see if I can get it off in one go without a poke at all. Yes. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Coming off easily. Right. So now this is where I need to make sure I'm lining this up really well. So I'm actually going to draw another line further up to make sure I've got a straight line to go against. Where's my ruler gone? Buried it. Oh. So we know that's meant to be just over 4 inches, isn't it? Yes. I'm just going to draw the line like so, and I'll make sure it's still 4 inches at top and bottom. or just over 4 inches at top and bottom. So that's still, yeah, that's still 4.1. Oh. Oh, that seems to be narrower there. That's at 4 inches there if I go to the edge. So I need to go, okay. Yeah, that's not straight at all. Try to fix that. I mean, it could be that this one's crooked. I don't know. Figure it out in a minute. Better. It's better. Let's just check. So that's at 7.1 there. Oh, and it's at 7.2 there. So actually it's here that I need to come out further. So I need it to be 7.2. Why didn't I figure this one out in the first place? 7.2, no, 7.1 there. Yeah, pretty much 7.2. Let's do it 7.2. Well, hang on, then that is straight. 7.2. I'll use 7.2. It's pretty much straight, just slightly off. 7, hold that up there, 0.2. So it's just slightly off. So that's where my skew-iffiness went. Now let's just measure this one again. 4.1, yeah. 4.1 is over here a bit more. And 4.1 is here. Yeah. Okay. Get that line a bit straighter. There we go. So we've got my straight lines now. And I'm going to make sure, I'll do it very carefully, because I need to make sure I'm not putting it down before I'm ready. Otherwise, once it's stuck down, it's impossible to lift back up again. There you go. That's pretty good. All stuck down. Now what I want to do is put some more tape on here and bring the outside over. That makes sense? I think it makes sense. So I'm bringing the top over and sealing this in. One, two, three, and 4. Not evenly spread apart, but that's fine. They don't need to be. Let's burnish them down again. Making sure they're fully stuck to the surface so they don't peel off when I try to peel the backing off. And are you going to work? Yeah, one. See, I didn't burnish that end bit down enough. So it's trying to peel off the outside. And I did go over the edge of the cardboard a bit, but I'm fine with that. Okay, one. Are you going to come off? No. Come on. Two. Last one. Three. Four. Sorry. Four. Okay, now this is where I want to fold this over very gently. I'm rubbing it in here. So I'm folding it to that line that I creased earlier. And I'm going to do it a little bit at a time to make sure it stays even, because I don't want to stick it down where it's not ready. So I'm just doing it a little bit at a time to make sure it's where I want it to be. And there we go. And there we now have the spine. And all I've got to do is crease these pages along that. Oh, crease the cover along that spine that I've just made. One. You'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to feel it as you get to it. See? Push it in to that spine and then crease it down. And there we go. We have basically made the cover. We haven't. There's still much more to do. I'm just creasing it down with my fingers. There we have the spine of our journal. I really do need to get a camera that will go higher. And that should, in theory, be wide enough. Yeah, and it still gives me a little bit of a lip there, see? So once that's in, you're still going to have a little bit of an edge. And this bit will actually be going over here, like so, giving me a pocket. So now I've got to work out on this end, turn it up that way round, oops, where I need it on this end to cut off a piece so I can have a flap like on the other side. So there's the spine folded in. I'll hold that up against the spine folded in, and it gives me that much room. I want to add an extra little bit, about half an inch to about there. I'm going to do it on this side of the ruler. Do the same up here, about half an inch to there. And then what I can do, I open it up so I don't cut through the bit I want to keep. Oh, I can't open it up, can I? Oh, sugar. I should have done this first. Let's put me culling board in between. There you go. That's the plan. There we go. So put my cutting board in between, so I'm not cutting through the bottom layer. And I'll mark these. I'll line these marks up. See how. Let's see You can see how skew with that line was that I cut earlier with just my scissors earlier. And I'm going to cut so that the red is cut away. So let me do it this side then. Let me do it this side. Turn my ruler that way. Doing this so cack-handed. Okay. Did that cut through? No, it didn't. Why did that not cut through? Just wasn't pushing it hard enough, I guess. It has. It has in some places, not in all. I can see where I've cut though, because it scratched the paint off, which is cool. Okay. Try again. Don't rip. Cut, don't rip. Okay, I think that's... There we go. I think that's cut through. Didn't quite go through there, did it? Put that back under again. Don't want to go any further than that, because that is actually the fold. No, I'm going to do the rest with scissors. Put the mat back under. Thank you. Because I want to make sure I'm not cutting off anything from the back anyway. And I want I cut along there. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm cutting along that fold, like so. I'm just going to cut that little bit there. I'll neat that up in a minute, because that's clearly not straight there now. See, this is where I wish I had a much higher camera angle for you. That'll do. Now, as you can see, this flap here is angled in, so I need to do the same on this side. And we're just going to cut a slight angle each side, like so. Slight angle off there. And a slight angle off there. Like so. Then I fold that over. And we have Now, hopefully, something that lines up at back and front. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. We'll see when it's all in there. The only other thing left to do now is to glue this. And I'm going to take a little bit off, but I do want, do I? I'm going to have to put it over the outside. I didn't want to do that. The reason I have to put it on the outside is because I've glued it down anyway, and I've not had the flap this way. Right, I'm going to take a little bit off, neaten it up, and then we'll glue it down. And I think I will use the tape again, just because the tape is pretty strong. That's not folded down right. Look at that. So I'm going to take a little bit off the edge of here, leaving myself the width. In fact, why don't I put the tape on? That's a good idea, isn't it? If I put the tape on, then I can cut it off the edge of the tape, can't I? What a good idea. So I'm going to line the tape up as best I can with the edge that I'm going to flap over to. Like so. And then what I can do is cut off this bit that I don't need, the excess. And I'm going to use my ruler and blade to do this. Right, just what? Go back that way. Flip it over that way. Can I get you in? Can I get you in? Oh, just about. There we go. Yeah, if anyone wants to help me invest in better equipment for filming, I have a Patreon. I'll drop it in the description. It would make my life so better, so much easier if I could lift my camera up so you can see what I'm doing easier. I'm taking that off. Yeah, initially I wanted the fold on the inside, and unfortunately it's not going to work out like that. Unless I have the pockets on the outside, which I suppose is possible. I could have the pockets on the outside, couldn't I? So instead of having the pockets inside, like so, I could have the pockets outside. Yeah, let's do the pockets on the outside. Plan. Oh, I didn't cut that quite to the edge there. Let me get rid of that bit there. I do need it to the edge, otherwise it's not going to stay stuck. Don't know how I went skew-if, but I did. There we go. Better. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel this off. Oh, let me make sure it's stuck down properly. Peel it off. Come on. Cooperate. I know other people use their like tools to lift it, but I've never been able to get it to work that way either. See if I can. Aha, there we go. Okay, so this is where I need to be gentle again and making sure that I'm only sticking it when I'm ready to. There we go. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now I have my cover made. Like so. Let's get rid of the rubbish. I'm going to put some sort of fastening here and here. Well, still not sure if I like that on the outside. How obvious. See, it's not too obvious that seams there. I think I will do it with the pockets on the inside. Just because I think it'll make life easier for me to hold them shut. So there you go. That is how the cover's going to be. Got to decorate it a bit more. Got to make the fastenings and holding it together. And I've got to sew in the internal things. So that's what I will do, is I will sew all of them in like so. So they'd sew in, all 4 of them in, and just gives you a little bit more binding. And what you're left with is a pocket here, and a pocket here that can be used for holding things in. Because I tend to I'm going to be planning on taking this to all the rituals that I host. So I want it to be where I can actually have things inside it, in the pockets, when I take it to my rituals. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you all for joining in. I'm really happy with how it's coming along. And joining in, watching. It's been a fun project so far, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying it too. Bye-bye for now.